What's up, everybody? This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. In this video, I want to talk about 4 things that you should not do when talking to a debt collector about a debt that they're claiming you owe. Uh, Preferably, you want them to send a letter to you, but maybe, they might call you, you answer the phone, got this weird number, it's a debt collector, they say, John, is this John? You'd be like, yeah, this is John. And they say, well, I want to inform you that this is an attempt to collect a debt, and so whatever company they're calling from. So you know that they're recording the call, which is in your favor when you know what I'm about to tell you right now. So number one, verbal communication that the debt is yours. So when they say, "Hey, we're trying to collect on debt," what you turn around and say, and this is what I tell all of my clients to do, you just turn around and say, "I do not know what you're talking about." Then they're going to try to play this game like, "Hey, uh, give us your is this your name? What is your social security number?" No, you're supposed to know my social security number. What is your date of birth? No, if you had information, you're calling me. You're supposed to have all of this stuff. I'm not giving you anything. I'm not saying that this debt is mine. But what you can do is you can send me all of that information in writing, and that's setting them up for using the cease and desist collection activities letter when you get that information. But you got them on the phone. They're gonna say that they're recording the call. This is for debt collection purposes. Anything that you say could be used to for that purposes. And so what you want to do is you want to first just tell them that because they're going to try to roll off all this other stuff. Now, they might say that they need to verify some stuff like your address and stuff like that. You let them tell you what they got and then you verify it. So you want to make sure that they got the information. If they have anything wrong, this is something that you got to hear. Hear me on this. If they have any piece of it wrong, you would just say you had the wrong person. Don't say you need to correct it or this is that. You had the wrong person. Plenty of people had the same name. This is the true story. This is something that happened to me. This is very embarrassing. When I was in 6th grade, at the school that I was at, people would be on these different reading levels, and so you had a 6th grade book, reading level book. This was something also that they only did in the black schools. I don't know why they did this, but when I transferred to uh, predominantly white school, everybody was, you got to read on this level or catch up. So I'm in 6th grade and they're passing out the books, and you had a 6th grade level. Everybody's in the 6th grade, but they would have a 6th grade level book. They would have a 5th grade level book, and they would have a 4th grade level book. And maybe their thinking behind that was like you can graduate the individual up throughout the year on there, which is how people are reading now. Maybe that was a good thing that they were doing because at least the person would continue reading instead of getting stuck. But so what happened was this individual had the same name as mine, but it was the same name, Stephen Andrew Williams, the same name. Parents don't know each other, having the name much the same. And he was on a 4th grade reading level, and I was supposed to be 6th grade. And they had called me to do that, and I had called my mom. I was very embarrassed, everything, and they ended up getting it all worked out. But it was, they called that out in front of everybody in the class, everybody, and it was kind of embarrassing for me. So this is something that can happen with people. You can have people that match your complete name, and then they have one other thing wrong, and you're having them give you the information, not the other way around. And if anything that they say, so if they say is your name this name, and then if they say your date of birth and they have it wrong, you say that's not me. That's not me because they're supposed to have the correct information. They got it from somewhere. They didn't just make it up. So that's why you don't want to be the one that verifies it. They are supposed to take you off the list. If they have the wrong information at that point, you tell them it is not you. They made a mistake. They're recording the audio of the conversation, and they need to take you off the list. That is not you. and they're supposed to do that. Now, if it is, if everything is verified, you still say you want them to send it to you in writing, so then you can respond to it with the appropriate documents. I'm going to get those to you. Next thing, number two, is you never make any partial payment. So let's just say that they talk you into it and say, hey, you want to save embarrassment? We can do this. We're not going to sue you if you go ahead and make a little payment, $10, whatever. Don't do that because you could be actually resetting a debt that was past statute of limitations. If you've been watching my videos, what I tell you to do. What do I tell you to do? So you go and do it. What I tell you to do, I say you need to check the statute of limitations for collecting debt in your state. You can go to my website, thecreditrepairshop.com, go to my blog, type in statute of limitations, page will pop up, and you will see four columns. Contract, which is like regular loans that you get that cannot, where you pay and you get the charge again like credit card. Fourth column is open-end accounts. Those are credit cards. If it's past the legal statute of limitations, you do not have to pay. If it's past the legal statute of limitations, say this words with me. You do not have to pay, but you do have to notify. You do not have to pay, but you do have to notify, and you must notify in writing. I'm giving you the letter to do that. That's below this video also. So, but if you make a settlement, everything is right, say, hey, husband might be like, hey, your wife say you better deal with that. I told you not to get that credit card. Deal with it. You charged up that $1,000 getting that model airplane that you bought, and you're gonna pay for it. And they say, well, hey, you had $1,000. We'll settle it for $500. Make a partial payment. Don't do that. Don't do that. You get the letter saying that they agreed to the settlement in writing, something, email, whatever. And then you do the payment and you never use your bank account, never use your debit card, never use your credit card. Send them a cashier's check in the mail so you know that nothing else is going to come up behind you. And you need to save that letter and that receipt and that copy of that cashier's check for number one, getting it off your credit reports if they don't take it off. And then number two, just in case it accidentally gets sold to another debt collector. They sell these debts over and over again. One debt collection company tries to collect and they say, hey, we got $500,000 out of the 10 million. Let's sell it to this other company for $5,000. Let them deal with the rest of them. We're good. We'll go buy another group. That happens and it can actually accidentally get chunked into there. So don't do that. Listen to me. Other thing, number three, don't, and I just said that on there, but I'll reiterate it here for number three. Don't give your bank account information. Don't give your credit card information. Don't give your debit card information. Don't do nothing with your accounts that can come back and somebody have their hand and dip in there and take that money out of your account. Don't do that. I've seen it happen to people and they'll say, hey, this was the original amount and what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Don't put yourself in that position. Number four, which is what I talked about earlier also, but I want to reiterate it again, is don't give them the information. Don't give them the ammunition to come after you. If they're asking you if you're this individual, you say, okay, what name do you have? Okay, that's my name. Do you have a middle initial? What is your middle initial? No, you're supposed to have that. What's the middle initial you have? It's mine is Stephen A. Williams. I'm saying that to myself, and they say Stephen F. Williams, and that's not me. That's not me. You need to take me off your list. That individual is not me. And believe me, they will do it. It can be that easy if you just know what to say at that time and what to not give them at that time because they will try to twist it around and say, oh, give us that information. And they're sitting there writing it in or typing it in on the computer, making those corrections. So you want to let them ask you. So because they're going to say this, they're going to say before we can send you this letter, because they don't want to break any laws. Also, before we can send you that demand letter, they're going to say we want to make sure that you're the right person. And you say, okay, well, verify it. What do you? what do you need to know? And then they're going to say, well, what is your address? No, you tell me the address that you have. Well, what is your date of birth? No, you tell me the date of birth you have. Well, what is the complete name? No, you tell me, and then I'll verify it for you. That's what you need to do. And that will make a lot of this stuff stop if you know what to do, know what to say, and to go ahead and answer the phone. Answer the phone for debt collector. Tell them, you got money situations. They might say, well, we're going to give it back to the portfolio company that we bought it from or sell it to somebody else. And then when they sell it to somebody else, you can say, well, I notified such and such debt collector and they said that they were going to cease the collection activities and they must have done that and sold it to you. So you should not be coming after me for this debt. These are some of the things that you can do to stop debt collectors. They never want to get caught where they got some debt from another sleazy debt collector and then now they got it and it's like you sold me that debt and you're going to get me in trouble. So they don't want to do that. So if you have something that says, hey, I know that this company that you bought it from or the company that had it before, they stopped. And are you sure that you want to come after me because they stopped? And if they didn't do it, what makes you think that you can do it? So, so I'm going to end the video here. If you need help with your credit, please visit thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, what makes it different. If you can follow that stayed the same for the last, 17 years now. 17 years we've done the same way, 17 years. If you could follow the process that way, we invite you to become a customer. If you cannot, please choose someone else. If you need your credit reports and scores, please go to the number 3scores.com. I have the debt validation letter, the cease desist letter, the statute of limitations letter, and other resources below, including the t-shirt. Get the t-shirt. I want to see a lot of people wearing those t-shirts this summer. Thanks again. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of thecreditrepairshop.com.